In this video, we'll demonstrate how to transform a report using the Survey Transform tool. The term transform refers to the process of moving survey data, both in orientation and translation. Orientation is rotating an object, in this case, a pipe spool, about a chosen origin point. Translation involves shifting the pipe spool along the gridline axes. The automet visual report shows the transformation as a change in relation to the design data. When you first view the visual report, you will see the default fit result. The default fit is one in which all surveyed data points have been fitted to the design using an averaging process. When there is a gross error in the pipe spool manufacturing, this default fit is not the best way to evaluate the survey results. This survey includes a group of points called circle fits. The circle fit centers have been found, and the vectors for these centers are shown here as C1 and C2. Here we'll use the transform tool to adjust the survey data in relation to the design data, resulting in a more informative report. To bring up the transform tool, press the transform button. The user specifies the flange main work points and circle fit centers for the construct. The terms origin, set, and orientation are used by the transform tool to refer to specific points that control the transformation. The user selects the points that control the transformation. They can be any point in the survey file, but they are typically the main work points or circle fit centers. We first select the origin, which in this case is flange 1, and then press the 0 origin button. As you can see, the vector errors at the flange are now 0. We then choose circle fit center 1, C1, as the set point. The set point will act along one of the grid lines, in this case, the x-axis. Take note of the current y and z coordinates for set point C1. These indicate that it is not on the x-grid line. We can now use the transform tool's graphical section to perform the set operation. The gold sphere indicates the set point. The tool uses the colored sphere symbols on the axis grid lines to direct the transformation to the correct grid line. In this case, the plus x grid line. When we click the red sphere, the set point is aligned with the x-axis line. See how the y and z coordinates have now changed. We can now see that the first leg of the pipe spool is located on the x-grid line. Select an orientation point that will position the second leg of the pipe spool at the same height as flange 1 and C1. After selecting the orientation point in the points table, double-click the yellow sphere. You will notice that it has grown in size and gained focus, allowing the next transform to be performed on the orientation point. Press the axis symbol to perform the transformation. In this case, the green sphere on the minus y-axis. A word of warning: the orientation point represented by the yellow sphere must be given focus before the user selects an axis sphere. Otherwise, the next action will be performed on the set point rather than the orientation point.